All right, everyone, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV and the quick thoughts after a disappointing 2-1 home defeat to Crystal Palace. I'm Matt, and the last time I was here, you might have seen me spitting pure rage about 3-0 Arsenal, and I'm not much happier tonight, let me tell you. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of it all, make sure that you drop a like on this video, give us a bit of support on the channel, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Welcome to everyone that's tuning in and paying attention from the watch along with the lads. I'm sure it was as difficult to watch as it was for me, for you lot. So going into the game, the lineup, I wasn't too displeased. We played well last time out against Everton, and it was unchanged apart from the one forced change. Jamal Lascelles out injured, Kieran Clark coming in. Not disappointed with that in the slightest. I think Clark's a great defender, and Palace, not the greatest team in the world. We know that. We beat them, although it was probably a lucky win last time we played them. We did beat them last time out, and they only squeezed past Wolves in their last game with a 1-0 win. Before that, losing to West Ham and City as well. So they're not in the best of form. They set up with an attacking team, but ended up playing how we usually play. Bruce got bruised, unfortunately. I think Roy Hodgson's probably the more experienced manager at putting 11 men behind the ball. But yeah, as for the lineups, pretty happy with it on paper anyway. As we got into the game, it turned out that we didn't have a right midfielder or right winger. We were debating in the group chat what the hell Bruce was doing, what the formation was, because when Palace had the ball, on the rare occasion that they did actually have the ball, it was a 4-3-3. You had Hayden, Shelvey and Hendrick in the middle, and then you had, for some reason, Fraser on the left, Almiron in the middle and Wilson on the right when we were defending. And then in attack, Wilson would then rotate into the striker's position, Fraser out to the left, and Miggy would drop a little bit back, meaning that we had no attacking right-hand side apart from Manquillo, who kept trying to get forward. So we were easily worked out just on the left-hand side. We got one channel of attack on the left because no one's going to take the ball and run through the middle. No one's on the right-hand side because there's nobody there. So they can easily just see, right, we're going to come down the left-hand side. Started brilliantly, don't get me wrong. Great high press from Wilson, forced a scuffed clearance from Gaita. I can't remember who won the header. I think it was Hayden won the header. No, it was Lewis, actually. Lewis won the header, flicked it on. Almiron, great desire, flicked it past the defender. Bit of an iffy cross to Wilson, but Wilson, brilliant control. Shelvey hits it 1-0. Fantastic. I'm out my seat. I'm thinking, bloody hell, I don't know what I was nervous for. We're playing fantastic. We've picked up exactly where we left off. And then just went to shout. We went back to typical Newcastle. We reverted back to our normal, uncreative selves. I'd love to know this season what percentage of our passes are backwards, because the commentator said it on BT as well. The players with the most amount of touches, you can guarantee it's Shah, Clark, and Hayden passing it between themselves around the back. There's no energy to get forwards. I mean, you'll find out on scoring the players later, because I'm on that video as well. Jonjo Shelvey, he's captain today. Yes, he's got the goal. Fair enough. Did he do anything else? This is the game where he's supposed to step up and unlock defenses like this. If they're going to put 11 men behind the ball, you need someone that's a distribution specialist. When you've got players like Fraser, Almiron, even saint-maximin, Wilson, these are players you could be picking out, and instead you're wandering around the pitch like a lost puppy. There's no defensive desire at all in that midfield three. I can't fault Hayden again. He's flawless. Hendrick and Shelvey, there's no desire out of those two. It's ridiculous. Matty Longstaff's not the best player in the world, but you can guarantee he's going to put 200% in every shift. Today was the kind of game to put someone like Longstaff in, to have the engine room in the midfield. So, when we need space created, he's going to run, draw the defender away. So Shelby's got an extra 2 seconds on the ball to pick out a pass in behind to Wilson. It was pissing down wet today. We thought we'll take advantage. We'll hoof some long balls over the top, let the ball skid. They've got Scott Dan and Gary Cahill at centre back. We've got pace up top. We'll beat them on the run. We did it a couple of times. We got in behind. Did it work? Did it bollocks? Ryan Fraser decides that he's going to try and dink it over one of the best keepers in the league instead of just putting his foot through it. I was joking with my mate saying I'd rather Almiron had that chance that Wilson slipped through, because Almiron wouldn't shoot straight away. He'd dilly-dally. He'd probably fall over and score with his arse, and the keeper wouldn't have a clue. Fraser, he's through on goal, and you expect he's one-on-one. It's an easy finish. How he's not missed. You want it the other way around. You want Callum Wilson being fed by Ryan Fraser and behind it. It's shocking. I don't know how many chances we wasted today. It's the first game, I think, that we've had all season where we've had over 50% possession, or at least it's definitely the first game we've had over 60% possession. And we created a fair bit in the first half. We created chance after chance after chance. Did we convert any of them? Did we bollocks? We're getting balls in to our star man striker, who's then got no support around him. Or if there's support, it's Jonjo Shelvey blazing a shot over the bar from 30 yards out, or Fabian Schär having 2 shots from like 50 yards. He scores 1 goal against Burnley and thinks he's bloody a long shot specialist. I don't understand the mentality of this team. Palace were there for the taking today. I don't know what you guys thought watching that at home, but I was screaming at the TV. We started well. There was an energy. There was a desire. High press, make them make mistakes on the ball. They've got less defensive players than they've got attacking players. We can outnumber them on the counter. We just didn't take advantage. We were unlucky not to be level going into halftime, I have to say. The goals that we conceded, I think for the blame for Riedewald's goal, for me, falls with the midfield. You've got Shelvey, who doesn't track his runner, the little 1-2 on the wing. He should be giving Managerial a lot more help there. And then Hendrick just watched the ball as it rebounded. It was brilliant from Lewis, stopping the easy shot in the box, getting a foot in. And then the ball's Almiron steaming in about 60 miles an hour from 10 yards away to try and block the shot. Hendrick just watches the ball go past him and then just turns his back when the shot's taken and lets it fly past it. I'm lost for words, and then it's an unlucky deflection past Clark to take it past Darlow. Neither of them knew much about it, but God almighty. And then the second goal, it's a silly foul from Lewis. He doesn't need to make that tackle, but Shaw, what's he doing? You got Gary Cahill, who we know is good in the air, and they're a big team at Palace. They're not by any means a team of dwarves. And you got it looked like zonal marking. That's how far some of the players were away. And Shaw just lets him go. Yes, he's blocked off by Batshuayi, but he shouldn't be that far away from him in the first place. A good comment from Sino there. Where was Graham Jones? I don't know if he was at the match today, but I don't know if he was there today. I don't know if Bruce is telling him to take a back seat after all the praise he got from giving orders on the touchline midweek, or I don't know if just BT just didn't pick him up on the cameras. Yeah, it's a weird one today because we were the better team. This is one of the first times this season where we've been on the end of what we usually play like. We're usually the ones that play defensive and try and nick a goal on the counter. We're unlucky not to. We're lucky not to lose 3 or 4-1. They had 2 or 3 chances right at the end to hit us on the counter after Bruce had hooked half the defence off and played Ryan Fraser at fullback. We just don't know how to adapt to games. That's my main issue. Bruce famously said he doesn't do tactics, and it's evident. It's really evident. He's seen. We played well against Everton. Granted, that game was that game. We played well. Credit where credit's due. Then we've come into this game with exactly the same team and exactly the same setup. But they don't play like Everton. They play like Crystal Palace. They play with 11 men behind the ball at all times. They play with fast, tricky wingers up front. You need to adapt to the team you're playing. Because when you come up against a team like that compared to a team like Everton, they're not going to leave you space to play in and around them like Everton do. There was, I think it was the 85th minute. I was watching it with my mate. And I looked, I think Fraser had the ball at right back. And between their centre half and their striker in the centre of the pitch, we didn't have a single player. There was Jonjo Shelvey sat behind the ball between our centre backs, and then all our forwards were out on the wings. There was nobody in the middle that wanted to come and take responsibility and try and give like a little give and go, help him out, Absolutely disgraceful. We're looking for crosses into the box to Wilson. Yes, he's a fantastic striker. I thought he had another good game today. But he's not an aerial presence, especially against Scott Dann and Gary Cahill. We need to get him into feet. We need to get him with those players on the back foot. You need to have him running at them, not whipping it in. There was when Fraser was playing in that left midfield with Lewis, he was linking it up. He wasn't looking for the pass to Lewis, for the overlap for Lewis to cut a ball back to Wilson. He was looking to cut back on his right foot and then swinging cross with his right foot. And he did it about 5 times in the first half, and none of them worked. I don't understand it. It's just adapt, play to your strengths. And we're just not doing that. It's so negative. We're just trying to play football that we're not capable of playing. And it's not difficult football that we want to play. We need to play this right. Almiron looks fantastic in that number 10. He's everywhere. He's not the best. He's no Mesut Ozil, but he looks for the ball constantly, and he's the only player in our team that does that in the midfield. Callum Wilson does it up top, but he gets the ball to feet. He runs it 10, 15 yards up the pitch, and then he looks to pass it off, but there's very rarely any support for him. At that midfield, I know I've touched on it already, but by Joe Willock, I hope you're ready for a baptism of fire, because I don't care if you're injured, you're getting thrown in at the deep end, because God, we need some talent and energy in that midfield. I hope he's decent. I really do. I hope he kicks on, because where's Sean Longstaff? You know, he's been rubbish, but why not give him another chance? He can't be any worse than this lot. The substitutions today, saint-maximin came on. Fair enough. You know, we always knew that was going to happen. Perhaps unlucky not to start today. We don't know how fit he is, but he came on and then was isolated on the left wing. Like, there's no one looking to pass. We play too slow for saint-maximin. He likes to pick the ball up, run at players, little one-twos, little give and goes, you know, get the ball into feet early. Instead, we're playing it between the back four. Lewis takes an extra second on the ball and then passes it off like a second too late. So by the time he does that, saint-maximin's got 2 men on it already. I'm sick to the back teeth in negative football, to be honest. We're back past Central here. And, you know, we've got Southampton next, who got absolutely riddled by Man U tonight. 9-0. They got 2 men sent off, I think. It might have been more by the time I've finished watching. But yet, the tunes, today was the best we played all season. Why am I mad? I'm mad because we've lost 2-1. It's the best we've played all season, and we lost 2-1 to Crystal Palace. Does that not make you angry? Does that not make you fuming that this is the best that we can do? You know, the performance we put in today, I'm not sure how many teams we would pull off, because if we're going to concede 2 against Palace, we're probably conceding 2 against West Brom. We're probably conceding 2 against Fulham. We're definitely conceding 2 against Arsenal, City, United, Spurs. You know, it's a joke. It's beyond a joke. And half the comments that have been flooded in tonight, Bruce out, I'm all with you there. I think, like, we played well today. We played well last week, but it's really, really not good. And, you know, Sheffield United won today, so the bottom 3 are catching up to each other, and they're catching up to us. So we really need to watch out. Southampton next, followed by Chelsea and Man United. Personally, I can't see any points from that. Southampton are a much better team than we are. But, you know, we're running out of time. I'm wittering on. But I appreciate you all tuning in today to listen to me wittering on. Let us know in the comments what the score prediction for Southampton is going to be. Thank you for watching. And don't forget, we've got the live fan reaction coming up and the score in the players, as well as the last word all the way later on. And don't forget, if you've liked today's video, do not forget to drop a like on it. And if you haven't already, try and subscribe to us so you don't miss any of the action. But for now, thanks for watching. I've been Matt, and you've been watching Newcastle Fans TV.